is an emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived.
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest, the best weekly Stardom podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I am joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hey guys, how's it going? Um, I'm Big Doug chilling. Last night, late at night, me and my roommate, we DoorDash some Taco Bell, and now I'm drinking a bunch of coffee. So things are gonna be happening in my stomach that I'm not looking forward to. But until then, we got some Stardom to talk about.
Hell yeah. Stardom Quest is brought to you by the 5 Star Podcast Network. 5 Star Network, as always, host to us Stardom Quest, host to Dramatic Dream Dragons, which is a DDT and Dragon Gate podcast, host to Puro Gems, which is a monthly look at the indie scene of both the men's and women's scenes in Japan. That is hosted by Peps Wrestling. We also have Watch Tej, which is one of the main TJPW podcasts out there. And I don't think I forgot anything. Um, yeah,
Uh, we do Summit every once in a while. Uh,
that
we
exists.
have articles.
There's a few audio projects coming down the line, but for the regular
Yes,
podcast lineup, it is those 4
it is.
shows because All Elite Cast is still looking for new co-hosts. So if you want to do that,
R.I.P.
RIP. So if you want to host an AW show, get in contact with Scott. We do also do articles. There's a lot of cool articles on the website, and there's going to be more in the future. And that is at 5starnetwork.co. And that is the plug. So, Dylan,
Alex,
I've had to wait a week.
yes, you have.
Last Wednesday, you and we sat here, and I said, this Stardom announcement, it really feels like Sareee may be free. It really feels like Sareee may be returning from the WWE. It feels like Sareee may be on the verge of returning from the hellhole that is Shawn Michaels booked NXT. Within like 12 hours, it is
Yeah,
announced that Sareee has indeed left the WWE. I took the mother of all victory laps that Thursday.
you
As
did.
I victory lapped as hard as I
You
could.
woke up at like 6 a.m., bro.
I I had the most insane 12 hours of my life. We recorded this show. I I did some mental prophecy stuff to predict the freedom of Sareee. I stayed up late that day to watch the saddest movie in history that my soul was ripped to pieces. After having my soul ripped to pieces, 4 hours later, I get up to use the bathroom, and I see from Scott a message that said, Sareee is free. And I proceeded at 6 a.m. on 4 hours of sleep to victory lap everywhere I could about Sareee.
This
So,
is topic, but I just want to tell you that you sounded more Irish in that little excited tangent than I've like perhaps ever heard you. You sound so like your accent came through because of how excited you are. That's the
yeah,
crazy thing.
it does. It happens. It happens sometimes. Yeah, whirlwind 12 hours there for me. That ended with me victory lapping over Sareee. So much so that I put it in the description of last week's show.
You did.
I
I
was
read
like,
that. I was like,
yeah,
damn, this dude's like, we got it. We got it, guys.
yeah. It is not every day that you can accurately say that you were first to just be like, yeah, this woman's gone. You know, like I sensed it. I just sensed it. I don't have insider knowledge. I just have the ability to sense these things. Um, but yeah, Sareee is free from the WWE, and there's obviously all of the talk that she might end up in Stardom, and so there's been a lot of stuff around Sareee for the last week. Um, I think the most interesting thing is that she has confirmed that her comeback match isn't until May on her
Yeah.
self-produced Sareeism show. So she won't be on Yokohama Arena in a wrestling capacity, and she won't wrestle for anybody until early June, presumably. Um, she did say in an interview with Tokyo Sports, though, Stardom is not the only Joshi Pro Wrestling promotion. I want to make a wave on the current scene, but I also really want the IWGP Women's Belt. So I should tell
She
you,
jumped a step. She jumped a step. She's like, "Nah, I
yeah,
want to go straight to New Japan, bro.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna be Captain fucking New Japan in this bitch."
yeah, so she has said she wants to remain freelance, but she very much has said she wants that Stardom New Japan money. So I mean I expect her to show up in Stardom. I still imagine she will be Kyrie's big Korakuen reveal in April. Um, and that will be her kind of being like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here," and then you can even have her on the Yokohama Arena show just challenging Mercedes or Mayu if you really wanted to. Like that, like you could just do that and everybody would be
Yeah,
happy.
I feel like I'm about to go get back into the schematics to see what Kyrie said exactly.
Yeah, there was because I feel like Kyrie said I'm going to be on the Yokohama Arena show, and by the way, I have a friend coming that I'm going to talk about the Korakuen. And everybody just
Yeah,
assumed that the friend would be at Yokohama Arena.
maybe Natsupoi just challenges Kyrie to a singles for Yokohama.
Yeah, I'd say so. Because what else is Natsupoi going to do at this stage?
Yeah, she
Because
has
she
no
is currently
friends.
feuding with a woman who is retiring, so there's not really much
True.
you could do there. Um,
Yeah, we have to have a good discussion about Natsupoi.
yeah, yeah.
she's
But
she's she's making some moves. I don't know if I don't know if I'm
oh
rocking with.
no, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this. But the thing with Sareee is she's made it clear she isn't gonna be full time with Stardom. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know what reason that is. Like that much might be that they can't afford to pay her for to work 100 plus dates a year. Like that could be a thing. Because contrary to what a lot of
I
people
mean,
think, Stardom does not have unlimited money to throw at people. They do have like budget for their talent, and somebody like Sareee coming on available isn't something you could predict. So it might just be the case that she's freelance.
well, it was definitely something you could have predicted because
Well, yeah, maybe, but it could just be a case that she's
backlash.
freelance until they have enough money to sign her. Like it could be that kind of thing. But for now, if she is in Stardom, she's going to be a part-time presence. Um, and
We have a lot of those.
yeah, I actually feel like at this stage, if she is going to be another part-timer in the upper mid card with a clear glass ceiling, I hope she's the last one. I don't care if EO comes on the market. I don't care who the hell comes on the market. I like you have 7 different people in Stardom who are basically in the same spot right now because it's Kyrie, it's Saki, it's you, it's Nanai, Lisa Sarah, Suzu Suzuki. And if you add Sari to that, that is 7 people who
Yeah,
are all just underneath the main event scene, but
and
won't
you
get
even
into the
count
main event scene because Rossi.
Mercedes, who, like, if she
Yeah,
stays longer
yeah,
than the Mayu
we don't
match,
really know.
she's the exact same spot.
But that would be 8. And in a lot of companies, 8 people to like float in and just kind of do whatever is great. Stardom has so many talented wrestlers that trying to work around 7 part timers who you both want to protect and not push too hard, it's just a lot. Like it's gonna get to the point where it's a lot, because you already have these outside acts holding 2 different belts, which isn't too bad. But
I was about to throw like the biggest dig at TJPW on accident
here,
because I was just thinking it's like, man, it would really help the Joshi scene if there was like a second company that was like doing something.
no, you're right though, because I have
Because TJPW is
always,
just it's so isolationist. It's very
yeah,
much founded on its homegrowns.
hmm
Like I mean, think about Mace Ruga and Ryo Mizunami are like the only two wrestlers that aren't like TJPW wrestlers that ever show up on their shows that
yeah.
aren't foreigners. Uh, like it's not a place for the big money wrestlers to go or the big money freelancers to go even,
Dylan is
but
gone.
yeah.
Oh, you're back.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gone. I'm here.
All right.
I was just going on a tirade.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
my shit vote.
Potentially. I did hear some of it though.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've asked for TJPW to be more aggressive for a long time because there's too many talented wrestlers with very little to do who would benefit TJPW a lot. Um,
Mhm.
like even half of the people who are currently doing this upper mid card thing in Stardom would be of a huge benefit to TJPW in any capacity.
And
Um,
that's not even counting like the high caliber freelance wrestlers that could use some bigger dates on their calendar. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, what
Like,
the hell does Rina Yamashita be doing these days?
yeah.
Like how, like you can't tell me that TJPW wouldn't be infinitely better with her on the shows. Like, I refuse to believe it. Same with Hiroyo Matsumoto. What does Hiroyo do
Mhm.
that is of any importance these days? She couldn't be in a company like TJPW. And Sareee would be the same. I mean, if they got Sareee for anything, like that would be huge. Um, at the moment, it is just kind of everybody floats around this, Stardom is like the sun, and everybody is floating around it, hoping to get a deal eventually, right? Or in the case of Prominence, they don't want a deal; they're happy to just do the part-time stuff. But like I don't know, it's just a weird thing with Sari might just be the tipping point for me of I do not want any more part-timers here clogging things up because there are too many Stardom wrestlers that I want to see succeed. Um,
Mhm.
and that's going to get harder and harder with more people from outside the company occupying these spots. I mean, like when you think about it, the last two red belt challengers have been outsiders. Like that alone in a company with so many talented wrestlers, you've had two outsiders challenge for the red belt. And one of Saya's recent challengers was also an outsider.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that last night. I was like, they really should have given that Umasaki match to Ida. I know, like, not for the big stage, but just in terms of her run, I'm just like, you could have given that to literally anybody.
Hmm.
Like, and Umasaki ain't even here no more. Like, I mean, she's gonna be on New Blood, but oh, she's in the Cinderella too. I don't know. She just feels very disconnected.
Hmm.
But that's off topic. But no, I totally feel you. And there are like, I mean, I just think about like most of Marvelous. Like Maria could be doing so much if there was like another company that was like, oh yeah, like not to make it too Americanized, but if there was an AEW type figure, oh yeah, we are going to like give paydays to all the cool freelance wrestlers. Cool, cool.
Hmm.
Uh, like just that idea would be perfect. Like that would help a lot. And I think Ice to some degree used to do that. Used to be that, and Oz is Oz, but like they could really use like another company as kind of like make I don't know, make things more fluid for these wrestlers because it is a clear ceiling to the indie scene, and that's
Hmm.
coming from someone who loves the Joshi indies way more than most people do. I defend it way more than I probably should because it obviously sucks a lot of the time, but I think when it's good, it's really really good, and I love it.
Yeah.
But they need more to it, like it's
Yes.
it's it's not thriving because it's just kind of the same. Like you can't progress right now.
Yeah, like I mean, we watched it a little bit, but I mean, the Joshi scene was at its best when it had like three major companies that had
Mhm.
everybody, not six or seven, right? And I mean, the Joshi scene took a noticeable dip in the late 90s when there was like eight companies vying for talent and fans, whereas when it was just LLPW, JWP, and AJW primarily, you had great shows and great matches from everybody, right? And like that would be cool to have now, because as much as it's great to have Stardom, it would be very nice to have a second company doing something similar to Stardom with their own vision, like TJPW, if they were to be more aggressive, or if Ice Urban could get back to where they used to be, or something like that. But yeah, that's um, that's our overall thoughts on Joshi wrestling, I guess. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Sari is a great get if Stardom can pick her up. Hopefully, eventually she joins full time. Like I don't.
I will say, I don't think she's looking for anything full time considering she's wrestled like 20 matches in the past
Yeah,
3 years. So I
yeah.
imagine she's
I don't
not
know.
really ready to jump into, 15 matches a month type territory.
Probably not, but I feel like she
Especially
will.
50 or 15 stardom matches a month instead of, the
Yeah.
3 minute matches against Stratton or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here.
You never know. She might be motivated. Although it seems like she wants to make the Sareeism thing um a proper thing, so maybe she'll do that as her primary thing. Um But I
Yeah,
imagine,
that's another thing that's like not plaguing Joshi wrestling, but it is an interesting thing to think about is that it's like there's so many produced shows nowadays.
yeah,
Like nobody wants to like it's not selfish, but it's kind of selfish. Like, and this is not me digging at Sareee, but I'm thinking about it. It's like nobody wants to like help an indie company grow. They just want to do their produce shows until they're bigger than any given indie company. You know what I mean? But they don't run an actual company because the produce show is just about them. And
yeah,
this is me digging at the formula, not at the wrestlers. Cause like I fucking love prominent shows. I think No Bad's rules. Like I'm Saree's dope, but I'm kind of noticing that that's like nobody's really they are not giving these indie companies a lot. They're saving it for their produce shows.
yes. And some of that is just the indie companies don't book everybody, and if you
Yes.
need work, you might as well run your own show. Like, I
Yes.
feel like that's part of it. Is people are like, well, I want to work more dates, and these companies can't afford it, so I'm just gonna run my own show. How
I
about it?
also realized that I feel like Seedlings run like 3 shows this year at most, maybe
Yeah,
two. Like
yeah. They're
I've
very quiet.
it, like, and they're doing relatively well. Like they've had some good matches this year, but I feel like the Joshi scene's definitely slowing down. Uh, and
Yeah, compared to
when
what.
the shows do pop up, they aren't always that high of quality, so it's a bit
Yes.
concerning.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what Sari left, like, I remember when Sari left, there was like her,
Oh yeah,
Yoshiko, Hashimoto, and Takumi were almost guaranteed to be in some form of cool match every other month, or at least once a month. There was, in fact, one match that had Takumi, Nanai, and Sari on one team at one point. Like, the Joshi scene she left behind is very different to the one now, and the one now has almost proven it doesn't deserve somebody like Sari because I don't see her getting any of these like dream matches that people talk about because Miyuki Takase has been available for about what 14 months now, and she's had maybe three
no,
of
it's been a
those.
while.
Like she's had maybe three, and one of them was by accident with Suzu because Nagisa's
And
knee
the
said bye.
and the second one was our good friend James Darnell booking it in America.
Yes, yeah. So I just sorry, it's like I don't want her part time in Stardom, but part time in Stardom is almost better than what she's gonna get elsewhere. But ultimately, I would just rather her join somebody full time.
She okay, but think about it. Because nobody values her like they should, Itsuki Aoki can wrestle Sareee like 17 times
Hell
for
yeah.
every company because that's what every company does. I'm surprised that Wave hasn't fed her to Sheeta yet. Or are they? Is that no,
No,
she's
I
tag
don't
champ
think
now.
so. I don't.
But
Yeah.
like cuz she I feel like nobody wants to give away matches unless it's against Aoki and I love that cuz she's one of my favorite wrestlers. But she's like the only person that people are willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's like a 4 or 5 wrestlers who are like okay with losing, and so they lose to everybody, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Rico,
Yep.
both
Yep.
Ricos,
Mhm.
Aoki and Maria, I guess basically. Oh, and Ayami Sasamura, all amazing, and
Yes.
none
Yes.
of them have ever been pushed ever. So it's great. We're living out here. Um, Anyway, do you think there's any chance Sarita's a GP?
Uh, I don't. I would love that. I feel like I would love the GP.
Mm,
And I said this on the Summit show about junior. I really love tournaments that are like true all star, like
yeah,
blocks. You know what I mean? And like get as many for outside participants as possible, especially good ones. Not like back in the day when half of the blocks would be foreigners and like 3 of them were good. Let's not do that. But I would love it if she was. I would love it if like a Mayukihi was, but that's a whole nother discussion. Uh, but I doubt it. Definitely doubt it. I feel like it's on the same level of asking like, oh, is Kyrie gonna do this, or oh, is anybody? It's like probably not.
yeah. Well,
You sound so defeated.
Well, with Sareee, I feel like it's different. Like she is still in her physical prime. I feel like if the offer was good enough, she would do it. And if they were able to work around having Suzu and Risa Sera in them, and Takumi the year before, I don't think Sareee will be that much of a nightmare.
Yeah, I feel like Suzu's gonna be in it again this year, though.
Well, yeah, I mean she's basically a Stardom wrestler without being a Stardom
Yeah,
wrestler, so like that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Um,
indeed.
that is enough on Sareee. I'm sure we'll talk about her a lot more going forward. I have to imagine she'll have some involvement with Stardom before long. Um, it was announced during an emergency press conference that on the
Scared
20
the shit out of me, by the way.
oh yeah, yeah, you and most people. That on the 28th of April there will be a Jumbo Forever Wave X Bushi Road Fight special show in Shinjuku Face. So I assume this is how they're gonna do that match they proposed at Korakuen with Takase and Himeka and Poi.
So who is beefing with Stardom specifically?
Gami maybe.
You think it's Gami? You think it's just that? Because like I'm thinking about it, it's like they very quickly changed it up from Stardom news to Bushi fight news.
Well, I think
You know,
that's
I
because
mean,
there's
like,
gonna be dudes involved, and
oh,
so
you think so? Well,
yeah,
okay,
because
yeah, that makes
the thing, like, I think a lot of people don't realize is Jun Akiyama is quite connected to Himeka, so he might want to
yeah.
be on the show. And if you have
Pretty sure
him on
he
the
like.
show, you should probably have a New Japan guy to wrestle him. So
I remember. I think that he was like the one to like get her into wrestling.
yeah, because
Like, didn't he like he
she,
scouted her or
well,
something?
her idol group used to perform before All Japan shows, I
Yeah.
think, and she does the running knee because he gave it to her because she was big and
Because she
reminded him of
reminded him
Jumbo
of
Tsuruta.
Baba
Yeah.
or Jumbo Baba.
So yeah, so she's tied a lot with Akiyama and All Japan because I feel like she did wrestle there as well at one point with
She did.
Mina.
I think like her first, not her first match, but one of her first matches was an exhibition in
Yeah.
AJPW.
So I assume Akiyama will want to be on the show, and that's why it's Bushi Road fight. But also Rossi wasn't there in any presence, so maybe he is beefing with Gami. I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me, but I mean, he did like,
Got me still mad about the kid, bro.
yeah,
Got me still mad about the Starlight Kid ruining her day,
he did
which is
save
valid.
Gami from like mid card obscurity with Arjan, so I don't know, but maybe she doesn't care about that.
Yeah, but I think as much as Rossi is like a legend in a lot of his ventures, I feel like there's a lot of shit we don't know about Arjan that probably made every like I don't know any Arjan wrestler outside of Mima Shimoda that doesn't have beef with Rossi right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like really, like well, I mean like really, I'm trying to think about it. It's like I feel like either it's like just nothing, or they retired, or there's just nothing of note, or like they notably have some type of issue.
Well,
I guess Hoda's fine, but
I don't know. I feel like she doesn't
I
like
mean
him
that's
either.
a yeah, she probably doesn't. Let's be real.
Um,
It's crazy.
anyway, Wave and Bushiroad fight working together to get Himeka.
Ooh,
I assume this is where they're doing the Himeka Takase reunion
yeah, yeah.
because I don't know why else you would have Wave involved. And what Wave has to do with Takase, I don't really know, but she does work there primarily. Um,
Mhm.
so maybe that's why she asked for it to be on their show. I don't really know.
No, give me Kohaku versus somebody good. That's what I'm asking for.
Ooh.
I know this is a it's not a Stardom show, so I don't know how many Stardom wrestlers are going to be there, but like Kohaku versus literally anybody, please.
Yes. We're not going to get that though. I mean, let's be honest here, but we'll have to wait and see. So that was a surprise announcement. Also, as part of Himeka's retirement road, they announced that she will wrestle Mina Shirakawa on April 6th in the Sendai Pit. She is going to wrestle Ami Sourei on April 8th in Aomori.
Why?
I have no idea. They've booked a Himeka Retirement Road Golden Generation Showdown for Yamagata on April 9th. It is Himeka, Utami Hayashishita, and Saya Ida versus Micah, Sayakamatani, and Mirai.
That's a
Um,
really funny. Like,
yes,
did you see the promo
yes,
about that?
I did. She did not mention
I
Mirai.
love
It is amazing.
Rossi is like shoving Mirai down these girls' throat, and they're like, no, no, this is a clique you cannot be a part of.
Yeah, she was always an inorganic addition, to be fair. Um,
I mean, they tried to get Unagi in there, and everybody was like, no, that doesn't even make sense. Why would you stop?
yeah,
Stop it. And
yeah,
then they were like, okay, fine, but Mirai's getting in there, you motherfuckers. And then like nobody cared
yeah. They just kind of forget about
except
her,
for me.
which is fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, The last match they set up for Himeka was a Himeka retirement road match at the April 14th Korakuen next month. It is Micah and Himeka versus Julia and Sareee. So
The
ALK makes a
last
one
the
night
last
return.
Mahime match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are a follower of the English Stardom account, you probably don't know this because Sonny didn't tell you. Because
That was crazy.
what a week Stardom had from the Korakuen being uploaded in the most amateur way possible to him just forgetting a show. Like, how are people who aren't knee deep in the dirt supposed to properly keep up with Stardom? I'm just so like they left out promos to set up matches from the Corkin. You're leaving out things that people have to see. Like
Like, man, I feel like it's wild because like I've been thinking about the English account a lot, and I was just thinking it's like they need to be doing more than what they usually do.
yeah.
And now he's doing less.
Hmm.
Cause like what they usually do is they just like are like, oh, these are the matches for today. This is the results, and that's it. No, nothing about press conferences really. They don't really. I mean, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't cover the press conferences. Like in comparison, to, like the New Japan Global account, this is a fucking shit show.
Hmm.
And even compared to like what the Marvelous English account nowadays, this is bad. Like not literally, because the Marvelous account is like I think it's ran by like Chigusa, so like it's not that great. But like really, like I don't get how it is so bad. I don't get how so many things about Stardom is so Bush League when they are like one of the biggest 5 or 6 promotions in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've said it a lot, but they're at a really weird stage where they clearly don't care all that much about international fans, but Bushi Road wants them to care, right? Like it's like every
Like,
time there's a report, it's Kadani sees a market in America for Stardom, right? It's like
because
English,
there is one.
yeah. It's like every report is the Bushi Road guy sees a market in English-speaking territories for Stardom. Stardom, on the other hand, is woefully inequipped for any sort of like growth like that. Like their VOD is like piss poor. Like Stardom World is bad. It is terrible. It can't
Yes,
live stream. You can't live stream. It's 2023. Tiny Indies live stream. Like,
you just went away. I can't hear you.
hopefully other people can. But like Tiny Indies can live stream and Stardom can't. And not only that, but you're not getting all the shows on the service. And that's another thing a lot of people internationally aren't used to. Your English presence, keeping people up to date, is horrendous. Like TJPW, whenever they have a show on, their English outreach is fantastic. You're kept up to date all the time from something. Whereas with Stardom, you have to rely on fans finding out information. All right, so Dylan had a bit of a computer issue, but we're back now. I did my rant on TJPW, or not TJPW, Stardom. But yeah,
Yeah, we did that earlier.
yeah. I mean, we've said this a few times. Like Stardom's in a weird spot. Like the company that owns them wants international growth. Stardom itself clearly isn't very focused on that, given that they won't put any money into Stardom World or editing for Stardom World. So, you know, I feel like everybody blames Sonny, and it's very easy to blame Sonny because he's not a very likable individual. But
Alex,
yes,
it's wild because anytime you start ranting, you start cutting out. That is insane.
yeah,
I think Starm is trying to
trying to silence
silence
me.
you.
Yeah, but it's easy to blame Sonny because he's a very unlikable guy. But I mean, this all goes far beyond Sunny. You know, this is the company itself needing to really invest. And yeah, I don't know if you brought the point up, so I don't know if you have anything else. Are you okay?
Every time that you start ranting, my computer crashes. So I think that maybe we should just skip the criticizing of Stardom. I
All
think
right.
Rossi's out
Okay.
to get us on the Be
All
Real.
right. All right. Well, Dylan's computer went again. He is now on his phone, so his audio is going to be
I am.
terrible. I will try
Yes.
and fix this in post, but there are no guarantees. Um, I think that's all for announcements from Stardom that we won't cover anyway. So I suppose we'll just get straight into the review section. There's only 2 shows up for us to review, so we'll probably speed through this, and then I think this is just house shows to preview. But there's some interesting talking points anyway from the show this past week. So
Yeah.
in the first show to review was on March 10th. This is at Korakuen Hall. They did 904 fans for this, and usually I would say this is a poor number, but on this very day, they were holding a show across the street from a baseball game that probably had about 40,000 people in the Tokyo Dome. And the people who weren't in the venue watching that were probably watching it at home or in a bar. Like there was a stat that
Yeah.
like 60% of households in Japan were watching one of those baseball games. Like baseball, like this Shohei Ohtani guy is like a god. So Stardom did 904 up against the equivalent of Kenta Kobashi himself returning to the ring. So, pretty solid number with that context. This is usually where Dylan puts in a quip, but I don't think he's. Are you gone again? Hello?
What the fuck?
Oh my god, Dylan. We are plagued with technical difficulties. I love it. You love this.
This is the first time in like a while that this has been like an issue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever had this level of issue that wasn't Craig just dropping out of the call. Like, I feel like we've never had
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But
At least not since like 2020.
yeah, yeah. But I can hear you now, so that's the good thing. What do you think of this Korakuen number, given that they were going up against the essentially a Kento Kobashi return?
Yeah. The show was like there was nothing from the show. Like the main event had Ruaka in it,
Yes.
and it drew 900 people against like heavy odds. So more power to him. That's a good number. In my book, that's a good number.
Yeah, I would agree. In the opener, we had Rina defeating Hina and Miyu Amasaki to become the #1 contender for the Future of Stardom Championship. Hina,
She simply went back to back. That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's badass. I mean, Rina is somebody out there like pushing almost. They really like her.
Yeah. She's good. She's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I've recently had to accept that she is the better twin because Hina ain't putting work in.
yeah, Hina is very bland in comparison, and when she came back, it was like, oh yeah, her moves are cool, but now it's just like, oh yeah, she's just there.
Because like her in-ring work used to be like definitely better than Rina's.
Oh yeah.
But now it's like they're pretty much similar in ring, and Rina just has the character on her and is like more flavorful. So it's like, you know, I hope Hina bounces back, but she's definitely more focused on, you know, being a teenager and in school. So I can't really blame her for that.
No. And to be fair, the arena does have the jackknife pin, which is like really cool every time.
This too.
I really like it.
Yes.
And this was a solid enough match given the relative inexperience and or age of all 3 people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I thought that like Rina put in a lot of work, and I thought that everybody did pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, top to bottom.
Definitely. The match after that then was Fukigen Death and Saki Kashima beating Momoko and Koguma and the team of Chairman Ram and Maika Ozaki. This was very briefly funny at the start and then was no longer funny, and then Fukigen won because yeah, that's how these matches go.
Yeah, I this one fell flat for me. uh like the and not in like a way of like, oh, I expect this to be great. Just like in like a lot of the stuff that you kind of expect from the sword match, they didn't hit properly almost. Like it just kind of happened and it wasn't good. The Koguma Ram stuff was funny because Ram is apparently deathly afraid of bears,
Yes.
so she faints every time Koguma does the bear
Yeah.
pose, and I thought that was really good. But otherwise, it was like, damn, Momokogo lost to death again. That's crazy. Like that was my entire takeaway.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm really tired of these Fukigen Death undercard tags. It's just, I don't know, man.
Where's Riho when you need her,
I
man?
know, right?
That's my question.
Well, we might have to free her as well soon, like we did with Sareee.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the match after that was Amisore defeating Lady C to retain the future of Stardom Championship in 9 minutes with the like a thunder drop. Really like this. This was like, you know, a relatively standard title match, which given what people think of both Lady C and Amisore was kind of surprising to a lot of folks. But like they both did really well.
Yeah, this was one of the better. I feel like Lady C, like her singles stuff is progressing. She's still missing something
Mm.
in her singles matches. Her tag stuff is always pretty consistently good. Like she's definitely a better tag worker than she is a singles worker right now. But there's something missing with her. But I thought that they both delivered a solid performance. You know, I thought it was a solid match there. Uh, I mean, it's a future title match, so you don't really expect too much from it. So I wasn't let down in any way. I thought it was pretty solid. And Ami dropped her like a thunderbolt. So shouts out to
Oh
that.
yeah,
Love that.
yeah. The crowd was really into this. I know they only had 900 people, but
Yeah.
they definitely made up for it at times throughout the show. And this was definitely one of the matches that was really elevated by that. And I feel like we criticize Amisore a lot because she was boring. Um, but there definitely needs to be some
Is she back to being your
no.
woman now? Is that what you're trying
Oh
to
my
say?
god. I feel like she deserves leeway because I looked into it. Like she only has 200 matches to her name, and she debuted
Hmm.
basically knee deep in COVID, I'm pretty sure. So
Yes.
she's adjusting to a whole new way of wrestling, essentially. Like she's had maybe like 1% of her career matches with an actual vocal crowd. Like that must just be such a difficult thing to learn, you know, especially going from the house style of Actress Girls to the house style of Stardom. Like she's had a lot of stuff to adjust to that I feel like she deserves a lot of time to really reach what she can be. Because I feel like she shows a lot of glimpses of being really good, so people just need to be a lot more patient with her. Because yes, she was a bit bland for a while, but can you blame her given the circumstances?
And yeah, I think it's wild because the last time that the Kyokos tagged together, it was Tag League and it was all right,
Hmm.
right? And before that, they were pretty bad. But now it's like this upcoming match, this Yokohama match, it's like this could be like
Yeah.
phenomenal, and it should be because the vibes are there.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I still have this feeling that it's like, oh no, not the Kyokos. Even though Mirai's like the best wrestler in the company, and Ami is like not a slouch
Hmm.
whatsoever anymore. You know, but like there's still that little thing that's like, not the Kyokos. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a while to remove the stink of having bad matches with FWC. Like that is 100% an
Yeah, yeah.
unforgivable thing, and you will have to earn my
And that
forgiveness.
was on them.
Yeah, like, you will have to earn my forgiveness for that. But I do think Ami Sourei is improving a lot, and I mean, I've always liked Lady C. I think she really showed what she offered as well. But Ami is definitely the main one because I feel like everybody just decided she was like really bad, and it's like, yeah, but she's still very new, so give her some time. Um, the speaking of the best wrestler in the company, Mirai and Siri beat Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid in 10 minutes when Mirai beat Starlight Kid with a roll up, it seems.
Oh yeah, she beat her with the Triangle Lancer Cradle. That's
That is
crazy.
beast, honestly.
Did you see it? Like that was like I was like amazed. I was like, damn, she just pinned her with the Triangle Lancer. Shouts out Konami.
I love Mirai. She's great. Um,
Oh, Mirai's
yeah,
great,
her
yeah.
and Kid in this match was fantastic. Like they were going crazy. for the finishing stretch. Like even though Momo and Suri wrestled in this, I literally like did not remember it because Mariah and Kid were that much better. Like they were fantastic together.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like I've complained enough for this episode, so I'm not going to bring up my Momo issues. Because I think this match was where I kind of realized that it's like, damn, I don't remember the last time Momo was the most interesting wrestler in a match, and that made me sad.
Well, that'll happen when you're teaming with Starlight Kid, who is exceptional.
That's not the problem. That's not the
I
problem
think
here.
it is. Maybe.
There's no way. There's no way you just no. I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. I'm gonna like
Okay.
what's it called? Men in Black my brain from that so that I don't start a fight with you. Yeah, the Starlight Kid, she hit the Goo Goo Gaga splash, and then she got pinned because she sucks.
Yeah. There was.
I thought this match could have been better. Like I think that like outside the last match I was like, okay, I didn't expect too much, but it like delivered. This match I probably expected too much, and it was like a little bit less than that. But I thought this was still quite good because obviously it was.
Yeah, I mean, look, the two teams involved are very good, but it definitely wasn't like their best effort, which is fair given they were third from the bottom on the show. There was an interaction between Kid and Mariah after the match that I was like, oh, that might set something up because they're in the same bracket in the Cinderella, so I thought maybe there'll be a semi-final, like Mariah versus Kid would be a good semi-final. I thought maybe Black Desire will be the first challengers for the new eras. And then somebody reminded me that Mariah and Kid,
It's a New Blood
are on the
match.
upside of New Blood, and then I was like, shit. So my excitement went from, oh man, we might get a Mariah Kid like semi-final to the Cinderella to, oh shit, yeah, this is for the Karma thing. So yeah, very disappointed in there. I can't lie.
Yeah, that's karma for saying that the Starlight Kid is better than Momo.
Well, you said it. I just said that.
I
Well,
didn't say
no,
it.
'cause
No. I did
you
not.
said you
Easy,
said very
easy with the
yeah, hold on. You
accusations.
said very specifically, I cannot remember when the last time is that Momo was the most interesting person in a match. I said, well,
Yeah, because Kid's dragging her down, bro.
or Kid has been outperforming her. Like
Occasionally, but not
one of those
regularly.
two is more likely to be true. You know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just, you know. um, the next match on the show, which didn't air, was Mai Sakurai, Tekla, Maika, and Julia of DDM versus they beat Hazuki, Hanan, Saida, and Mayu Iwatani of Stars when Maika pinned somebody. It doesn't tell me who with the Michinoku driver. So I assume it was Ida.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't know
gonna
either,
assume it was
actually.
Ida because who else would it be?
Yeah, that's a fair assumption.
So this match served as the reintroduction of Fuwa-chan, who announced that she will be wrestling
Woo.
at Yokohama Arena, which is a pretty big deal. That Yokohama Arena show is really set up to be the biggest attendant Stardom show ever. Like you've got
Yeah.
Mercedes Money, you've got Fuwa-chan. You're gonna have primetime television hyping up that show, and you're gonna have Mercedes Money, like as well as Julia versus Tam on top, which, as sick of it as we are, is a huge feud to the native fans. So Fua being involved in that is really cool because anything she does with Stardom gets them a lot of eyeballs, and I assume that is what people like Hazuki and like Ida will be doing at the Yokohama Arena. It'll probably be something involving Starlight Kid because Starlight Kid did talk shit to Fuwa-chan like months ago. So, and we did say at the time it would be genius to pair Kid with Fuwa-chan because Kid is somebody that you really want to get
Yeah.
that attention.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you could probably do like a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-4 match.
Yeah.
Since you can't have Mayu in it, you could just get FWC and Ida and Fua against Oedo Tai.
Yeah.
Or you can cut one of them out and, now I'm thinking about it. Yokohama Arena, the Saki Kashima versus Azumi match is before then. So one of them is going to have the high-speed belt. I'm starting to think it might be Azumi.
So you could definitely do like Azumi Koguma at Yokohama, and then have the rest of Stars that's not Mayu with Fua.
Yes.
But then again, I don't know if they're gonna do the double dipping again, because I feel like they're gonna want to make this match like an actual match and not an exhibition.
I don't know. I feel like it will still be her heavily protected
I mean,
with Hazuki by her side. So
yes.
I imagine it will be because she did second for Stars in this match. That's why it didn't air. Because the TV
Mhm.
cameras have the rights to it or whatever. So I assume she is still Stars affiliated, and it will be her, Hazuki, and somebody
Oh,
else.
100%.
But Uedo Tai just makes the most sense as opponents.
Yeah. I imagine it'll be Hazuki Saya and Fua against like the Uedo Tai trio. You know, the tag artist champs.
Yeah,
Spapapan
or Fukigen, because as many veterans as possible is a good idea.
bits. Yeah.
But
And Fua can do
yeah, like the
bits.
most important one is obviously Kid, because you put Kid on national TV or whatever, and I
Ooh.
feel like a lot of people are gonna go, "Holy shit, who's that?" You know?
I do not care about the Starlight Kid. Okay, we can
Okay.
move on.
Um, the next match on the show then was Saya Kamatani, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita wrestling to a 15-minute draw with Mariah May, Mina Shirakawa, and Tam Nakano. So the basis of this match was building to Mina versus Saya, and I really enjoyed
Correct.
what they did. They showed a lot.
I did too.
Like, I am very excited for that title match.
Yeah, I think Mina listened to the last episode when I said I feel like she doesn't do enough in these matches to like show where she's at. And this match, she showed exactly where she was at. She's great. Like she's doing phenomenally. Her and Saya had great chemistry
Mhm.
together, and I'm interested in the match. Something about this match made me feel like Mina might not win, and people are going to be very upset about that uh, if she doesn't. But that's kind of how I thought about it. I was like, huh, this is interesting. The way that like it feels like Mina's being set up too much to win. You know what I mean? She got the visual. She got the like there was something about it. Obviously we're still early. It's still a long way out, but I just feel like I don't know, maybe I'm seeing something that's not there that Saya Saya takes it back. But yeah, thought they did great together. Mariah is still really, really good. I'd say her only downfall is she needs to get better forearms because it looks like she's doing like the worst worked punches instead of forearms. Uh,
Yeah,
and I
it's
like just
that. It's that.
because like she like punches through
Mm,
and doesn't like actually butt, right? She doesn't do the forearm butt thing.
yeah, it's.
I'm doing this in person and nobody sees it. But like I'm like showing you how you should be doing it. Like I know that's really shitty of me because Ryan May is obviously a better wrestler than I am. But just a little bit more, a little more forceful forward,
Mm.
That's my one critique of her. I think she's great regardless though. Um then Utami like stole the show near the end.
Oh, her and
Uh
Tam was
because her and
great.
Tam were doing
Yeah.
crazy stuff. And then I don't know, she did like she's done like 3 dives in her entire career, and one of them was this match where she did the nastiest looking missile single leg dropkick on Tam, and Tam was like, "Please don't hurt me, please don't hurt." Like you could see it on
Mm.
her face, and Utami just fucking blasted her with that shit. It was crazy. Uh, yeah, so shout out to them. They did really good as well. Um, up until the main event, this was my favorite match of the night. Definitely, I thought this was really, really good.
Yeah, no, this was a great match. One thing that I will miss when Saya isn't champion is some of these prelude tags, because I feel like she's always been very good at kind of teasing matches through the house show tags, whereas not everybody is. Because I remember when Utami would do it, it would wear thin very quickly, but Saya has always kind of avoided that. And when she isn't champion, I'm gonna miss that kind of thread to her matches. Um, yeah, Mariah May does the very exaggerated indie wrestler forearm where they're putting a lot into the motion of it rather than the sound of it. And I'm like, okay, I mean I understand, but listen, you gotta get that thud. If there's no thud, why are you doing it? Like what's
Yeah,
the point? You're in Joshi, especially. Like in Joshi, everybody has a thud, right? So you have to work on the connection rather
you
than
know,
the wind up, I guess.
super underrated forearm, Maki Ito. Like hers is one of my
But
favorites
she's
right
great
now.
at everything,
Like
though.
she like
Like Maki is great.
yes,
So
it's true. But like sometimes like I think it was the tag match with Hyper Misao where it was like you don't really remember how hard her fucking forearms are, and then you see it and you hear it, and it just like it sends chills down your spine. That's who Mirai May needs to be like needs to be studying. That's who everybody needs to be studying for that matter. Uh, is just like having that like just sheer momentum and force to it. It's clean. Fucking shout out Maki till one
yeah,
time.
I know the match you're talking about when it was her and Shoko in the Max Heart final, and yeah, Maki was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
murdering this woman. She was beating her chest in. It was great. So yeah, Mariah May, please watch some Maki Ito tapes, and you will be the perfect wrestler. Like you will literally be unstoppable.
Yeah,
um,
pretty much.
the match
Yeah.
after that then was Natsupoi beating Himeka with the Fairy Princess, which is her new armbar submission. Um,
Don't like
seeing
that.
kind of people have gone across the board on this one. I feel like it was a bit of a letdown compared to what I was expecting because they both were
This is
they were
definitely a
very
letdown.
light. Like Lansapoi was throwing slaps that barely connected, and Himeka was throwing lariats that were barely connecting. You know, like
I will say some of Himeka's offense was
yeah,
very clean and was very
hmm
dope, but I would say Natsupoi really let this one down, and Himeka's lariats, like you said, were not good enough to make it just a murder. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like it wasn't like a oh like like it wasn't even like Poi had like this great selling performance either, and she's a great seller, but it just was the worst of both worlds almost. Um, they're both really good, so obviously this wasn't like bad. It wasn't a bad match, but it definitely it let me down a lot.
hmm
And this is the beginning of a few things that I mean it's not the beginning. I feel like it's the continuation of kind of the mishandling of Natsupoi because she feels it feels very weird. Everything about Natsupoi has felt weird in the
yes,
past few months since they dropped the tag belts. Uh, like even before that, but still, like I don't really get it because obviously we talked about the turn last year and we like kind of lamented it rather about how it's like you went from being like this unique member of DDM to being like Tam's sidekick. And like that was always a joke, obviously she fits better with Cosmic Angels and we can see that now and I'm happy to, eat crow on that one that she fits them better. But I feel like she's never felt more like Tam's sidekick than she does right now. Cause she just doesn't have a lot to her. And I think this match like showed me that they're kind of going in the wrong direction because they were like, oh, well, you need to add another layer to your wrestling. So you're going to do submission stuff. Her submission stuff's not good. Like it's just her
oh
limb targeting isn't
the
there. Like it's just,
I hate the spot, and they did this in the tag as well,
oh
where
yeah, yeah,
Himeka has her in a torture rack, and she simply decides, "I do not want to be in this any longer," and sits out of it. Like, I don't think that's how a
yeah.
torture rack is supposed to work, where you can just sit up
To
and
be
get
fair,
out of it.
Himeka's torture rack offense it has consistently been the most disrespected move in
That's
professional
true.
wrestling. Like the jumbo coaster used to be her finish, and then people just started rolling her up a half a
Mm.
second after it. Like full impact, hits it all the way through, should be like at least a 2 count, and then they just get up and they're like, "Nah, I'm gonna pin you instead." Like, and they just don't sell it whatsoever. I don't know why people just love fucking with Omega's torture rack stuff, but no, I agree. Um, and yeah, I just thought that Poi doing the limb targeting was like disjointed. It didn't. She has so much great
Yeah.
offense. She's a really good wrestler, and I texted you about this. The Minoru Suzuki philosophy is all rounders in wrestling
hmm
suck. Why would you want to be an all rounder when you could be really, really great at what people want to see from you? That's why Minoru Suzuki doesn't fucking jump. He does one drop kick. That's the most air he will ever get, is because he's good at the other things, and he's fucking 54 years old and he could still do them. Poi is the opposite. She is the most like athletic wrestler like fucking imaginable. She has insane agility. She's very fast. She knows how to make a match exciting, and they have her kicking Himeka's leg or kicking her arm and just like grinding on it. why? Why would you do that? That's the opposite direction of where they need to go with her. And that's my problem right now with Natsupoi. It has nothing to do with Natsupoi herself. It's just, why is this the direction? Because she's been getting her ass beat a lot. She's very clearly Tam's sidekick, and she's kind of getting lost in that role. And now she's doing things to quote unquote advance her game that are just making her matches worse. You know what I mean? At least from how I see it, I can't see me preferring a Natsupoi match like this compared to her match against Saya. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean she
Like because she's had match of the year contenders multiple times. She's a phenomenal wrestler. This is not a she's bad at wrestling. It's a, why is she moving in this direction instead of improving her game that has worked?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
My hope is that it's just for this Himeka feud that she's gonna do it, and she'll go back because there's no point in her doing arm bars on like half the roster. Um, which by the way, arm bars is like the single worst, most boring submission visual I think you could pick. Um,
Especially because it's like the people know how arm bars
yeah,
work now. Like, and not to be like a, oh, you know, suspension of disbelief, MMA, blah blah blah, but like really, like an arm bar is the most like simple, like it just doesn't work in
mm,
wrestling because people know how arm bars actually work because it's just, you're just bending somebody's arm.
yeah,
That's it. It's not, there's no mysticality, there's no magic to it. It's just, oh, you're bending someone's arm, they should tap out immediately. Why wouldn't they? That's why the only armbar that works is Zack Sabre Jr.'s, because people actually do tap out immediately, and it's like, oh, I almost fucking died and broke my arm. Like that's the only way it works, and this just doesn't, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. It wasn't great. And yeah, I mean this would have been better if it was the normal Natsupoi, just like high speeding her way to the win instead of trying new stuff that didn't really work. But yeah, I don't know. It under-delivered, really. The crowd was into it. They were chatting for Natsupoi and stuff, so something is working. Um,
I was confused. I was like, why are they cheering for the person who, like, Himeka's retiring, Natsupoi's being the asshole.
well,
Like she's
she was
working
kind
the
of the
arm, she's doing the
underdog in the
whole.
match, I guess, because Himeka's bigger. But yeah, I don't know. It was what it was. The crowd was behind Natsupoi, so that's all you really need. Um, the bad thing about recording on Discord is that when people are talking in some servers, I get the notifications throughout the show. So my ear has been blinging for like the last half hour, and I'm like, who the hell is talking this entire time? You people do not like each other this much. Stop it. Um, but yeah, so the main event of the show was um the Goddess of Stardom Championship match. It was Yu and Nanai Takahashi beating Ruaka and Natsuko Tora in 15 minutes when Yu did a diving body press on Ruaka and squished her. So this was great. This was probably one of the best Joshi matches of the year so far. Like it is right up there. It did
Hmm,
towards the
okay.
end, it did fall off a little bit, and I'm pretty sure you will understand why. I mean, Ruaka messed up a move or two. Yu was out of time on one of the finishing things, and the end was just a lot of Yu and then I beating the shit out of two of them. Um, but before
Yeah,
that, this was a great match, excellent match. Like this crowd was crazy for Ruaka. And to imagine ever having said that is insane. This underling in a heel faction had the crowd wrapped around her finger at certain points of this match.
because she's fucking. 3 years from now, we're gonna be talking about Ruaka like she's Yoshihashi, because I feel like people don't get it yet. Like I'm not saying she's like this phenomenal wrestler, and Yoshihashi is quite literally like top 5 wrestlers in New Japan. I'm not saying necessarily that, but like Ruaka has a lot to her
Mhm.
game, right? She has a lot of character nuance that like she is incredibly good at. I've been saying this for years, and people have laughed at me that I'm just like, I think Ruaka, especially when Natsuko was gone, I was like, I think Ruaka is the most faithful Oedo Tai member because her character works the
Yeah.
best and it's the most natural, and it just for whatever reason, it doesn't like getting the cheap heat just doesn't make me be like, oh, that's kind of cheap, that's kind of bland. Like, no, it just fits. Everything fits. It's perfect for her. And everybody kind of like joked me. It's like, what you know about Starlight Kid? I know that Ruaka is a better heel than she is. That's what I know, and this match proved it. I thought that this was phenomenal. I thought her entire output was great. She carried herself like a big deal. Nanai treated her like a big deal. You know, like it was a real coming out party for Ruaka. And it's funny because I was watching this match and I was like, the only thing that Ruaka needs is a bit more depth to her moveset. Kind of like Hanan has, right? Like Hanan really spent a long time like developing new moves in her moveset once she started getting older. And I feel like Ruaka just hasn't really had the chance to do that yet. A couple days later, we find out she's getting gifted the concussion bomb. So that's solving that problem right there. Yeah, I thought she did great. I would say that you a bit off her game in this one. But I mean, you off her game is still better than like most wrestlers in the world. So
Yeah, that's fair. No, she definitely let herself down a bit in that finishing stretch. But you know, the majority of the match was great.
totally.
You know, I don't know about we. I have eaten the biggest amount of crow ever on this you and I run because I was not for it when you and I came up as the Neo Stardom Army. I did not see the point.
Oh, I mean, I don't think anybody
And
was.
I mean, what's it been like 6 months now? Around roughly that. Like they've had one of the best 6 month stretches of any pairing.
I mean, if they beat the Kyokos and they have like one or two more solid or even just one after that, this will be like one of the greatest Goddess reigns of all time.
Yeah, like
Because like the Mahime match was an all timer for me. I know a lot of people really liked it. This was one of the best star making performances, especially against modern Oedo Tai. That doesn't really like you don't expect that, right? And like that New Year's match should be really good. If it's not, then that'll be a little bit of a letdown. If they keep the belts after that, whoever they face next should be another great match. You know, like Aphrodite, run that back, phenomenal match. They could throw FWC in there, incredible. Like they have the facility to be one of the greatest Goddess of Stardom champions of all time, and that's crazy because nobody liked them when they first started teaming up, including me.
Yeah.
And like I liked both of them. I was like, oh yeah, I think Nanai's cool in small doses, and I love you, but it just didn't work for me initially. Yeah, I totally agree. I completely am just. I will apologize a million times for that because I was wrong. They're insane.
And if they ever got you to sign, like they've put so much into her over the last 6 months, she'd be instantly one of the top members of the roster, right? Like they've made her that credible. Like she never loses in this company. Like she beats everybody. Like they like she could easily have one of the top 2 belts if she signed. Like no doubt, like with ease. But I did have this thought about Ruaka. I feel like everybody overlooked her for a long time, but like she's been here for a while, and Stardom.
Yeah.
As much as people like to, overlook some things, they're gonna treat her well, given how loyal she's been to them. And she's by the time she turns 20, she's gonna have so much experience under her belt. Like, there's a world in which she is a Natsuko style, upper card threat to people, and it's not that far away.
Oh, 100%.
Like she has that in her.
I mean, there was that. I forget who asked. Oh, it was about how Natsuko is about to surpass Kagetsu in total days as leader of Widow Tai, or she just did, or something. That's a thing that's happening. It's crazy to me. Somebody asked like, who's going to be her successor, and like, I know Momo needs to be a leader again. I know everybody likes heel Starlight Kid for some reason. People like Saki and people like Rina and all that, but like Ruaka is Oedo Tai now, right? Like to me, she is like the next big heel in the way that Natsuko is, right? And I can't see anybody else in that role because she's just so good at it. and she's gonna get better. And I always argued with you, because obviously there have been points where Ruaka's kind of just hanging in there, just doing what she can to get by until the next thing. And for some people, that's very, not commendable. But for me, I'm just like, I mean, why go all out when you're 17 years old and they have
Yeah.
nothing for you to do? And they snuff you for the fucking 5-star. Why would you do anything in any of the matches more than the bare minimum? And I think I was right, because when she has matches like these where, they need her to step up, she fucking knocks it out of the park. And this is the time where she puts in way more than the bare minimum, and she proves that she's insane. So, yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
compliment her enough, because I've seen it in her since she was the little Kappa. When back when she was in Jungle Assault Nation, I was like, you know what, she has commitment to this. You can see it, because she got injured like a bunch when she was like 12 years old. Like every time she'd come back, she'd get injured again, and she just kept coming back. And like, you could just tell it's like she gives a fuck about this, and I'm happy to be proven right. At least in this match, I think she did a great job, and I think she will continue to do a great job from
Indeed.
here on out.
And we did see a bit of that older Oedo Tai during this match, where they cheated for the big, massive babyface reaction, and I was like, this was the Oedo Tai, right? Like when they used the
Yeah,
box
no,
to
yeah,
cheat,
and
and they
that's
got
what
this
I
big
mean.
reaction. I was like, see, people loved the Oedo
It was
Tai.
a
Yeah.
Hazuki spot. That was the Momo versus Suzuki spot. That was one of my favorite Oedo spots of all time. Was when Hazuki almost won with the bombs away on the chair, and it was like a huge thing. Everybody popped. It was like a bit, it did feel like that old school style. It didn't feel like they were like, you know, doing shtick, as I say. Like, it felt like it like aided to the match, and it advanced it, it made it bigger. It made the near fall bigger. It made everything better. And I think Ruaka's great at that. I think Natsuka's great at that. And I'm waiting for the rest of them to get in line with
Yeah.
that.
Now just to finish up on some bits, I didn't mention this, but in the aftermath of Himeka versus Natsupoi, because
Oh
this
yeah,
this was cut from the show, um,
it
Himeka
was.
suggested that they do Himeka and Miyuki Takase versus Natsupoi and Kakeru Sekiguchi, and I believe that's because that was the first Korakuen for Actress. That was like a tag they did. So it would be the return of beginnings against Natsupoi and Sekiguchi, which is presumably happening on that Jumbo Forever show, if I had to guess. After that, then Mina Shirakawa showed up and said that she also wants to wrestle Himeka. As we know, that's been made official for the Sendai Pit early next month. After Ami Sourei versus Lady C, Rina came out and basically said, "Yeah, well, I'm number one contender now, so I'm gonna beat you." I don't believe they've given a date for that because I don't really know when there's
I mean, it's Cinderella for a while,
yeah, they could do it on one of the days
so they
of
kind of have to figure it
Cinderella if
out.
they wanted. Because obviously New Blood Premium you can't because Ami Sourei is in the tag tournament. Unless they save it for the opening match at Yokohama Arena, the Crown Arena, but I'm not sure on that. But it might be like the Yokohama or the Cinderella finals or something because they might put title matches on that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like they're so like
Mm.
booked up for a while. You know what I mean?
Well, the
That I
Cinderella
don't know.
final will need more matches. It always has. So, and there's
Yeah, yeah, and Ami's not making it to the
no, and since
final.
you can't do a red or white belt match, you kind of need, the other belts. So I could see this getting put there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
We also had, as we've talked about anyway, the New Eras challenged 7 Up after they retained the belts. That match was made official for Yokohama Arena. So that Yokohama Arena show is filling up.
Can I can I just say, Nanai owned Mirai like in like 1 second, because Mirai came out and people started clapping the Mirai claps, and then Nanai just went passion, passion, and everybody got on board. And Mirai's like, "What the fuck, y'all turned on me like that? That's crazy!" And it was instantaneous. It was beautiful.
Stuff, Nanai.
Yeah, 7-Up's beast. yeah, 7-Up's Beast and the Kyoko's should be good now.
Mm.
You know, I mean, Mirai versus Nanai sounds like a fucking dream match. Mirai versus you sounds like even more of a dream match. So should be fun. Like I have
This
cautious
Yeah, this match
optimism.
is so weird given that I feel like you recall that one time where we were 90% sure you shot on Mirai after a match. Because like,
Oh
if they
yeah,
just kill each other, that would be
and
great.
that's happened like
Yeah.
twice since then. Because like they keep kind of just like alluding to them actually disliking each other, which as we've seen from the Yukihi Julia stuff isn't stopping Stardom from putting them in matches together.
Honestly. Isn't that like the best shit ever? Like I don't care. Like I don't
It's
care if the
crazy.
Yukihi Julia stuff is true or not. I want it to be true. Like I want it to. Like it's so funny when
I
wrestlers
do
hate
too,
each other.
but I also want a second match. Also want a second
Listen,
match, and that means that it's not going
no,
to happen if they
you
do
do
have real
business. I'm
heat.
sure Kandori and Hokuto didn't like working each other. They despised each other. They made it work because you do business, and it's great. So
I I wonder if like Hokuto and Kandori have like done old people like an old people YouTube video
no, I
or
don't think
not.
so.
Cause you know how like I
They
mean like
both have YouTube
like
channels.
'cause I feel like that would be
They do
such a
both have
thing.
channels.
That's what I mean, and it's like yeah, we never talked about how Shinobu Kandori killed
Oh
Azumi in
yeah,
Among
and
Us.
Aja Kong was there too. So that Aja, Aja and Rossi were repairing the relationship.
Crazy shit.
um, yeah, no, I don't think Kandori and Hokuto have ever like been on good terms since. Even though they both have YouTube channels, I don't think they've ever appeared on each other's. So, which is great. I love it.
Cause like that's why like if that's true that they just like have kept the beef, that is so
Yeah.
wild, right? Because they're both two old ladies. One of them was like a congresswoman in or not literally, but you know like in Japan, a diet member I should say. Like they're so beyond it. But I would find it really funny if they're like, nah, I'm not inviting you on my fucking YouTube channel. What the fuck did I do that? Fuck you. Like that's
Well,
great.
Kandori strikes me as the type to never let go of a grudge. She seems like the most. She seems like a
Oh, 100%.
crusty motherfucker, like just a nasty bitch to deal with. Like I have no doubts in my mind. She is a horrible woman. Yeah,
She's
but
ruthless.
listen, great wrestler, one of the best ever.
She is a
That's true. Yeah,
conservative.
yeah. We don't,
She
we
is a
don't, we don't talk
conservative.
about her politics. We try not to. One of the best ever though. But
Yeah, for
we
sure.
do have a few more shows to review. The next show was on March 11th. This was Stardom in Hachioji. They did 512 fans here in the Tokyo Tama Mirai Messe. In the opener, it looks like Lady C and Lady C and Yuna Mizumori both beat Chairman Ram, which wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, did you not watch
No,
this?
this was a clap show. I could not stomach it. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Okay, I watched this match. I watched this match, the Club Venus match, and then the Stars, God's
All
Eye,
right.
and then the main. So this match, Ram started beating up Tall Ref
Oh, I
and
see.
got DQ'd. Um, yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. Ram was wearing the suit though,
Nice.
and that was clean.
Like it.
So, shout out to her.
All right.
Shout out to the chairman. Lady C also started getting booed at one point, and she
Hmm.
was like so confused because I think it's the first time that she's ever been booed, and she's like, "What? No, what?
That's really
What's
good. I
happening?"
like that. The next match of the show then was Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa beating Ruaka and Rina when Mina Shirakawa got the win in 9 minutes on Ruaka with the Glamorous Collection Mina.
Yep. Rina is in her xenophobia era. I don't know if anybody
Oh yeah.
heard, but if you didn't know, now you know. In this match as well, it was actually really fun because she did the same bit where she's like, "Hey, we're in Japan. You have to speak Japanese, you asshole, or you old hag specifically." But instead of saying that in Japanese, she said everything in Japanese except she said in Japan in English, and everybody just popped. Like everybody laughed their asses off because she like, why is that the only words in English that you said? Like the entire thing, and then Mariah May said "fuck you, bitch" or whatever, and then beat her up. Uh, yeah, I find that bit very funny, even though it is a bit xenophobic. Uh, that's okay. That's okay, and if it's Rina, that's
Right.
my stance on this. Xenophobia is okay if it is Rina Minami doing it. That's all right. Um, and then yeah, Ruaka and Mariah May had some fun stuff
Okay.
together. Again, Mina didn't do a ton, but nobody does in these sorts of
Yeah,
matches,
that's fair.
so it's okay.
The match after that then was Mai Sakurai, Tekla, and Julia of Don Del Mondo beating Momokogo, Koguma, and Hanan. Tekla won with the poisonous spider death drop, which is a move you like, isn't it? Or is it a different one?
Yeah, the butterfly square and compass. Sonata started
Wow.
using it, so that's two more for the good guys. Because the last two, I said this before, the last two that used that move
Yes.
were abusers.
And
So
now you have
let's
Tekla.
hope for the best
Now
for
you have
Sonata and Tekla.
Sonata and Tekla. One wrestler who's great and one who exists, I guess.
Sonata is good when he's wrestling less than 15 minutes, and they keep putting him in 25+ minute matches,
Yeah.
and it's just
I
infuriating.
have a lot of respect for Sonata because he was like, I hate long matches, like I don't want to wrestle them, and I was like, you go, girl, you like absolute king.
And then they're like, "You are
Yeah.
exclusively doing long
Well,
matches
that's how
now.
New
Fuck you."
Japan works.
I'm not. They were like, "We're not even letting you do tag division
Crazy.
shit anymore. No, you do long singles now. That's it."
Man. Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
I mean, hey, he's getting that bag. I'm sure he's living life. The match after that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're in
The
suits.
match after that then was Mirai, Shuri, and Amisore beating Hazuki, Saida, and Mayu Iwatani. Mirai got the win over Ida with the Miramare shock in 12.5 minutes. This was solid enough. Because of the clap crowd, it really takes away a lot of the energy.
It wasn't a clap
Oh,
crowd. They were
okay,
just
yeah.
dead.
I wasn't sure because I was like, it's either a clap crowd or none of these people give a shit. And yeah.
No, because they were shouting
Oh,
names
right,
before
okay. Yeah, so
matches.
they just didn't care. That's even worse. But yeah, the
Yeah,
bad
they'll do.
crowd really hurt it. Like even when Mirai was like taking Ida's head off, like they just got nothing, and I was like, oh, okay then. So yeah, it was solid enough. Given, I mean, it's these six, you can't have a bad match, but it wasn't like anything to write home about.
Yeah, and Mirai and Ida is
Yeah.
always really good. Like I feel like I'm a broken record with that one, but it's
Mhm.
just true. They are like one of the most consistent duos. Mirai and Suzu as well. Mirai is a very consistent worker nowadays. Shouts out to her, and Ida is as well, but she doesn't have a lot of staying power because she
Yeah,
just loses like all the time.
that is fair. The next match on the show then was the Oedo Tai team of Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, Fukigen Death, Saki Kashima, and Natsuko Tora beating Miyu Amasaki, Hina, Saya Kamatani, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita of Queen's Quest. Fukigen Death won with a roll-up because, of course.
Why is Fukigen Death winning so much? That's my question. I don't care. Like I don't care if she's here, but like why is she winning like
Well,
all of
that's
these
just how they
matches?
do it, I guess.
You think Azumi's dropping it to her?
God, I hope not. That would be such a bad decision.
Yeah, imagine they pass up Saki Kashima to drop
And
it
that
to
would be
Death
the
again.
only person left.
Memento Mori.
Yeah,
Memento
I
Mori, my
guess.
friend.
The main event then of the show is Himeka Retirement Road match. Himeka and Maika beat Natsupoi and Tam Nakano in 14 minutes when Himeka pinned Natsupoi with a running power bomb. Natsupoi and Tam have a new entrance theme that's from their new EP.
No, I think yeah,
So
I was gonna say I don't think this is their new. I think they were
yeah,
just like
because they've used
advertising
it
it
twice
basically.
now, but I mean they might just not use it once the
Hmm.
EP drops. Yeah,
It
all
is a good
three of the
song.
songs they're releasing are pretty good. But you know.
Yeah.
Double Frontier obviously clears. This match suffered from the same issue as the other matches, just no energy. Natsupoi and Himeka was the majority of it, and they just aren't hitting the right notes. Um,
I wish they swapped the shows because I feel like this match in Korakuen would have
yeah.
been way more fun. The Natsupoi Himeka match didn't really deserve Korakuen because it
Well, yeah,
wasn't
but that
that
match would have been
great.
horrendous.
But like if this match had the energy, yeah, true. But if this match had the crowd energy, it would be really good. I thought this was definitely better than the Korakuen match, um, by a fair margin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I,
when
go
Natsupoi
on.
sat out of the torch rack again, I just went, oh yeah, okay, I'm over this.
I feel like one thing that sucks about this retirement road thing for Himeka is just makes me sad. I mean, like that's obvious, but it makes me sad because so many of these matches I'm getting really congested. Jesus. So many of these matches, like, would have been great on her game
Yeah.
if they like had meaning to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking about this ALK versus My Hime match that's coming up, and I'm just like, man, like, I would have loved this to be a tag league final if they had enough time to do it. Or even this match, like the Meltier match. It's like, this was for the tag belts. It could have been like a match of the year. But here we are.
Yeah. It's gotta get your stuff in before you go. It's weird that they're having Natsupoi and Himeka trade wins when Himeka is retiring. I don't really see much of a point.
Especially because Natsupoi beat her the
Yeah.
first time. I like, it would be interesting if Himeka kept beating her and then finally like Natsupoi had to get this triumphant win
Mm.
at the end. But trading wins is just like, oh, so we're just like, what are we
Yeah.
building to here?
And I don't know if they do, because I know isn't it Julia and Himeka versus Meltier, so that'll probably be the last one. I think Himeka moves on after that.
Well, I mean, no, because the Natsupoi the wave match is
Oh
going to be the
shit, yeah, I forgot
last match.
Natsupoi is in that. Okay.
It'll be after her
Yeah.
actual retirement.
Well, isn't that just swell? um, After this match, then Himeka got on the microphone and she said, "Hey, let's do a Golden Generation match. We've got me, Maika, Utami, Saya, and Saya. Us five are the golden age of Stardom." Specifically, she said those five. She said we can do it any way you want, a five-way partner shuffle match. Let's do it. I just want to have one match with the Golden Gen. That's been made official, and they did shove Mariah in there because, of course.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Then after that, she said, "Look, I don't know how many times me and Micah can team up again, but for our last match together, we want to face Julia and Sareee." And so, yeah, Julia and Sareee got in, and we're like, "Oh wow, what? Are you sure? Wow, wow." They both said "wow" a lot. They were very
Yeah,
shocked. Um,
they were saying "wow" in
yeah,
English. That was the joke.
yeah. So they were very surprised, but they did accept, and Ali Kaba will ride again for one more show to take on Micah and Himeka. So that's a nice way to send off Himeka. Um, and yeah, I think that was everything from that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Um, After this, none of these shows are up because Stardom ran a show today and are running again tomorrow, so they probably have no editing time. But the next show was on the 12th of March. This was Stardom in Toki. They did 429 fans in the Saratopia in Toki. In the opener, Mirai beat Miyu Amasaki in 8 minutes with a jumping lariat. So she simply took Kevin's head
Yeah.
off and won. Speaking of Kevin, um, Miyu Yamashita was announced for a show for the Impact and New Japan crossover show. She's in a fatal four-way for the Knockouts Championship.
That's another place where it's really wild how little Rossi is willing to let any of his wrestlers leave the country.
Yeah, I mean, in my defense, if Impact were like, "Hey, can we use your wrestlers?" I'd be like, "Hell no."
No, I agree, but like, it's like he's like, oh, it's either us or the competition send someone. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I mean,
Like, to our brother company's show. Who cares?
yeah.
Like, that's wild.
Yeah, well, they asked Gato to book a woman, and he was like, "Who? What? Nah, man." And so Impact just did it.
I'm sure there's someone named Miyu. I'm sure, just
Yeah. But when the New Japan of America account posted about the match, they tagged Miyu Amasaki instead of Miyu Yamashita, which is that is the exact reason she was named Kevin, because we were all like, "Look, there are too many Miyus in Joshi. It's hard to keep up," and we were right, because even the admins
Yeah,
of the promotions can't keep
the
up.
the reason she's named Kevin is because the admin of the New Japan account mistaked her for Miyu Yamashita and decided, they were actually doing this while they were watching a Kevin Owens match from a couple years ago. That John Cena one, the really good one. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. And they were like, huh. I think that we need to separate them. It was actually the New Japan admin. That's the real origin. It's not us. It's not Namba. It's the admin of the New Japan account. It's
Okay.
true.
Yeah.
I have my sources. They never
All
lie.
right. Yeah, no, I definitely believe you. The match after that then was Yuna Mizumori beating Momo Kogo with the Tropical Smasher. Great name. The match after that.
It's funny because the original name is the Hawaiian Smasher, and I'm just
Oh,
like neither of those
no,
work make
not
sense.
at all.
Like it's just like I always found that really funny. That's like it's like wait, why is she called the Tropical Smasher? And then I remembered in 2K16 I had that move as one of my signatures, and it was the Hawaiian Smasher.
Okay.
True
All
story.
right. The next match then was Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa beating Hanan and Sareee. Mina Shirakawa got the win for her team in 8 minutes. After that, you had Natsupoi and Tam Nakano beating Ruaka and Natsuko Tora and the team of Shuri and Amisore, where Melchior won when the BMI 2000 got disqualified. So there was no winner there. Then we had a
happy I'm not watching that one.
yes. Then we had a Himeka Retirement Road 8-woman tag. It was Lady C, Saya Kamatani, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita beating Mai Sakurai, Himeka, Maika, and Julia. Saya Kamatani got the win for her team with the Star Crusher. And the main event was Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and Saki Kashima beating the Stars team of Hazuki, Koguma, and Mayu Iwatani when Starlight Kid got the win for her team with a Black Tiger Heavenly Punishment. Phew, that was a lot. I wonder who Starlight Kid pinned, because Hazuki, Koguma, and Mayu is a bit of an A team, isn't it?
You could check. Hold on.
It's hard to check. They don't put a circle anymore next to the person who won.
Koguma.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
In the picture down below.
Oh right, you scroll to the picture. Oh yes, I see her being dumped on her head. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
All right, yeah, let's yes,
Or
Starlight
Koguma.
Kid getting a win. That's crazy. They haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Of course. So the Stardom show, the last Stardom show to talk about.
I am a fan of the next result though.
Of course. So this was on March 15th, which was earlier today. It was Stardom and Takamatsu. They did 358 fans for this one. In the opener, Sareee and Hanan beat Yuna Mizumori and Momo Kogo, and Sareee got the win for her team with the Itabashi.
Let's go! That's my goat right there. That's my
Wow.
girl. That's my girl.
Congratulations.
I will say it. I'm not a pussy like you. That's my woman. Saida right there. That's my girl. Let's go. We win these once in a while. This is like her first win in like 6 months. So thank you. I'm happy about that.
All right. Congrats to Saida and the 3 Saida fans out there.
with the Itabashi.
Yeah, Itabashi.
What you know about building bridges, huh? What you know about that? That's infrastructure.
Oh my god.
No, I take that joke because my buddy, we play Smash a lot, and Isabel, her final Smash is like building a house around you. And so he just always yells, "See, that's infrastructure right there. Build an infrastructure. That's housing." And like I'm just like, "Fuck you, man. I don't want to deal with this. Get my ass beat by a dog."
I see.
So
All
yeah,
right.
that's infrastructure is a real inside joke.
Okay. All right then. The next match was Saki Kashima beating Koguma in 6 minutes. Well, closer to 7.
Yeah.
I don't think it was with a revival.
It was the revival.
Are you sure? I don't think it was. It didn't seem like it.
It says the Back to Life. That's Zombie
right.
Revival.
It
That's
seemed
what
like a different one when I
yeah.
had it, but all right. Match
is
after that then
revival.
was Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May beating Lady C and Azumi when Mina Shirakawa got the win. It says the implant DDT here, but that is literally her finisher. So don't know why they gave it a different name. Because isn't that the glamorous?
No, that's the inverse.
Oh right, okay. So she just hit her with a front one. All right, I guess. Then we had a Himeka Retirement Road singles match when Himeka beat Ruaka in 8 minutes with a running powerbomb. They hugged each other after the match, and based on Twitter, Himeka passed the concussion bomb on to Ruaka after the match.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that.
I wonder if they've said on about the promo in the report.
When Himeka returns, declare to finish.
It doesn't say anything
Dodges.
there. So
No.
it must have just been on Twitter.
Yeah, no,
Must have been on Twitter.
Yeah.
The next match then was Hazuki and Mayu Iwatani wrestling to a 15-minute draw with Natsupoi and Tam Nakano. Natsupoi has hair extensions now. So
Yeah, so this reminded me of Evangelion actually. Because Rei has the same haircut as Natsuko usually does, and then for like 10 seconds in the very last movie of the rebuilds, Rei has super long hair. That's what Natsuko looks like. She looks like she looks like the last 5 minutes of rebuild 3+1,
see.
and only a few people will get that.
Right.
But I find it funny.
Yeah, it's not a look. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it
It
personally.
literally just makes her look like a
Uh,
blonde tam. Like,
See, that's what I mean. It's like it's getting worse. Like she didn't want to be somebody's dog. I think she's just somebody's clone now. Like that's the problem.
yeah, I don't know.
she's just a sidekick. It's kind of
Yeah,
sad.
I don't know what they're doing with Natsuboy. It's I have a lot of questions, but yeah, listen, the hair extensions are not it. The short hair is better. Just stick with it, Natsuboy. Main event of this show then was Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and Natsuko Tora beating Mai Sakurai, Micah, and Julia. Momo Watanabe got the win for her team with the Inhumane Driver. So Ueda Tai.
It's not the main event.
Oh, wasn't it? Oh yeah, shit. Okay. Is this the main event then? Yes, it is. Okay, so
The God's Eye match is the main event.
the actual main event was Amisore, Mirai, and Suri beating Miyu Amasaki, Saya Kamatani, and Utami Hayashishita when Amisore got the win with the Blue Thunder Bomb on Kevin. So poor Kevin. Kevin is working all the house shows now, and she is taking lumps. So there's a picture here of Suri kicking the shit out of her. So we love to see it. Yeah, I don't think they said anything interesting as they closed the show because why would they attach? No.
They talk about food.
Of course, yeah, that's a Stardom staple. That's
Yeah.
all of the shows to review. We do have let's see here. There is a show happening tomorrow, and then 3 more shows happening in the next week. So
Yeah, we talked about the show happening tomorrow last week.
yeah,
so
so
it's
that's
fine.
the show with Julia versus Himeka. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Julia versus Himeka,
that's like the only
and
notable match as far as I remember.
there's a Hanan, Koguma, and Hazuki versus Queen's Quest match, and yeah, that's about it.
Oh yeah,
So
that might be
yeah,
good.
so that you'll know the results of this by the time the show goes up tomorrow. So there's not really much point in previewing it, because we did look ahead at it last week. The first show to preview then is on the 18th of March. This is the Mayu Iwatani return to Yamaguchi. This is the KDDI Ishin Hall. Have confirmed that they will be allowing streamers for this show, so Mayu can do the
For the main
so
event.
Mayu can do the tape spin again for the first time. In the opener,
I miss streamers.
yeah, they're cool. In the opener, we have Lady C versus Saida versus Yuna Mizumori. That's Lady C or Unimon, probably, getting the win.
Uh, I disagree.
Of course. The next
I tried to say it with a straight face, but
yeah, I didn't think so. The next match then was Hanan and Momo Kogo versus Momo Watanabe and Ruaka. I mean, I feel like Ueda Tai is going to win that one.
for sure.
Then we have, and this is interesting. I feel like this is a first-time occurrence. Everybody from Club Venus and Cosmic Angels is in the same match because it's Utami Hayashishita, Saya Kamatani, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki versus Tam, Natsupoi, Mina, and Mariah May. So that's kind of interesting, I guess, because they did briefly tease that Mina wanted no part of Cosmic Angels, but they've never done anything with it since. So who knows?
Why are we
I
here?
have no idea.
That's my question when it comes to Cosmic Angels and most of their affairs.
Yeah, I don't know. We're being punished for something. I imagine this is a
It is funny because sorry, it is funny because I feel like neither of us are like big Cosmic Angels guys. Like we aren't particularly like diehards. I saw somebody on Twitter say that like it's been hell for Cosmic Angels fans the last few months, and I was like, that's crazy. I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like, like to me, it's just like damn, these motherfuckers still doing something. They up to something, that's for sure. They cooking something, but I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. Maybe it's one of Tam's cooking videos, and that's what they're
Who
cooking.
knows?
But
The Club Angels are probably winning this one anyway.
yeah,
That's
they
what
are.
I've called them. That's what I call them now, the Club Angels. It's just easier.
I also call them
Really?
Club Angels.
Okay. I probably stole it
Yeah,
from you
I put that.
subconsciously.
I put that's what I write down in my
all right.
notes.
The match after that then is a Himeka Retirement Road 8-woman tag. It's Julia, Maika, Himeka, and Mai Sakurai versus Sareee, Mirai, Amisore, and Konami from God's Eye. So I guess Konami's gonna beat Amisore, or not Amisore, Mai Sakurai.
She's gonna turn.
Yeah,
She's gonna
she's
turn.
gonna beat Mai.
Yeah.
And then the main event is
Maybe just they should put Konami in the Cinderella. Just why fucking
no,
not?
you're gonna
I
have
don't
two
know.
British women.
It's like she'd have like 2 matches.
Maybe, yeah. You gotta have the Brits in there instead.
We gotta pad her numbers up. She's gonna be like the the wrestler to wrestle in the most tournaments without winning. I think that's
I
necessary.
don't know. I assume some New Japan guy has that because they have like so many tournaments.
Oh no, I mean in the Cinderella specifically.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's run them up. So let's get it.
Because I think Spanner posted a thread. I forget who's up. I think it's Jungle and Hazuki
Wow.
again. They are the losers
Yeah.
club. Like I always called Mayu and Jungle the losers club. Hazuki and Jungle are actually the losers
Yes,
club.
indeed. But yeah, Konami's back. Woohoo. The main event of the show then is Mayu Utani, Hazuki, and Koguma versus Natsuko Tora, Starlight Kid, and Saki Kashima. And I mean, presumably Mayu will get the win in her homecoming show against the faction that's been a thorn in her side for 2 years now. Remember when they first?
I hope this is better than the Saki Kashima Mayu match. That was the 10th anniversary or whatever.
Remember when we? That was the point where we were just like, we hate this company. it was bad.
Yeah, we were screaming at it.
There was some bad times. Yeah, I remember when this feud first started, and we were like, "Oh, it's something nice for Mayu to do, and a way to tie can be heels." And now 2 years later, it's still going. And
do I remember when I don't?
I do, because Ruaka turned.
It's been so long.
I remember, because
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Now I remember. Yeah.
Out of the blue.
That was wild.
Out of the blue, Ruaka just came back after being disappearing for months, and then straight away turned and joined Away to Tie. And Mayu is like, dude, what the hell? So yeah, that was fun.
No, yeah, because it technically started with the TCS ending.
And then Rina turned.
You know, because yeah, so like Konami turned on Jungle, and Jungle's like, man, I'm in pain, and then Mayu's like, hey, I got you, homie. I'm always in pain. And so Jungle joins Stars, quote unquote, but she's injured, so she's gone, and she never comes back. So she abandons Mayu, and then Mayu takes on every single member of TCS, like brings everybody in, and like half of them are like, nah, I want to be evil, fuck you. And then the clown also gets turned evil. Man, it's been a long time. It's been a long feud. Think about it, an entire knee injury has come and gone for Natsuko, and they are still doing it.
I love it. Great. The next show to preview is on the 19th of March. This is Stardom in Kyoto. This is the Miyu Amasaki Triumphal Tournament. This is in the KBS Hall. Is that the one with the nice backdrop?
Yeah. It is. It's the glass.
Oh, yeah. Those shows are just forever the Kevin shows now, which is great.
Yeah. I think it's because she's from that area, isn't she?
That is why it's a homecoming show. That's kind of how those work.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said Triumphal.
Well, that's the same thing.
Tournament. Wait. I feel like there's been like 7 Miyu Amasaki Triumphal tournaments, so I'm going to be honest.
They do run Kyoto a lot. Anyway, the opener is Saeeda versus Yuta Mizumori, and yeah, Unimon is getting more baton practice. So,
man, you didn't have to say it like that. Like I know, but
the next match is incorrectly labeled as an 8-woman tag, but there's only 6 wrestlers in it. It is Mayu Utani, Hazuki, and Hanan versus Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Ruaka. So I guess Stars might win.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends on who they're feeling right now, Ruaka or Hanan. It feels like it's Ruaka, but
very fair. The match after that then is Maika and Mai Sakurai versus Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May. I assume Club Venus will win again because that is what they are doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Utami Hayashishita, Saya Kamatani, and Lady C versus Sareee, Mirai, and Amisore of God's Eye. That's a God's Eye win.
Yes, it is.
Then we have the best high-speed four-way battle. It's Azumi versus Starlight Kid versus Koguma versus Saki Kashima. Anybody could win here. It is high speed. Who the hell knows?
I think Azumi beats.
Would Koguma not beat somebody and then put herself in line for a challenge?
But then who does she beat?
Saki? Or
Azumi.
Azumi?
Saki is the next up, isn't
Kid.
she?
This Kid pinned Koguma on the last show.
Is Saki? When's Saki's challenge? Is that not until April?
April 10.
Then yeah, I imagine maybe Koguma over Azumi.
Yeah.
Koguma over Azumi if Azumi is beating Saki, but like, or Saki over it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Let's be real.
doesn't.
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't.
Let's
The next match is a Himeka Retirement Road tag. It's Julia and Himeka versus Tam Nakano and Natsupoi. So, I mean, who the hell knows?
I almost knee-jerk screamed.
Yeah. Oh my god, Julia and Tam are gonna be so extra, and Himeka and Natsupoi are gonna be so extra.
This is gonna go to a fucking draw too. That's the
Yeah,
crazy
this is
thing.
gonna be Glee levels of extra. You're just gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's such a funny way to describe it. You're
Yeah.
right. You're so right.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a draw. Somebody might win. Who knows? The match after that is a Passion Injection match. Nanai Takahashi versus Miyu Amasaki. Nanai is gonna beat this girl around her hometown without mercy. I love.
Throw her through the stained glass, bro.
Yes. Instead of going like deathmatch route, just like throwing her through glass. It's great.
Man, you know what would actually be based is if they, like in death matches, they decide to do colored glass, like stained
Ooh,
glass
yes.
that like breaks. That's an idea. I'm gonna call up CCW. They need ideas. They ain't doing
Get your
nothing.
buddy Pulse to do it. I'm sure he'd do it.
Yeah, but yeah, I should text him. Even though that'd be wild. Me texting him being like, okay, $1 million idea, pane glass in death matches, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
that'd
sure
be
he'd
wild.
go for it.
I should. I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna get on that.
All right. So the next match, or the next show to preview and the last show to preview is on the 21st of March. It is in Hamamatsu, Shizuoka. The opening match of this is Sareee versus Starlight Kid. They're really sending. They're really.
Fuck me, bro.
They're really trotting Ida out here to just get her ass beat on every show.
Like the wild thing is she won once. She beat Momokogo, and now they're like, oh, now you lose an even more. Like we gave you that
Yeah.
one. Now it's time to lose every match.
So funny.
And like notably, it's not even just you losing in tag matches. You're losing singles matches to everybody that exists. Fuck you. That's what's happening.
I love it. It's great. So yeah, that's Starlight Kid winning. Then we have Utami Hayashishita and Lady C versus Koguma and Momokogo. And I mean, I guess Utami could pin Momo there. She's like invisible lately, so.
Wait, where are we?
The second match, Utami and Lady C.
Oh.
This is Koguma and Momokogo.
Yeah, Momokogo just gets beat. It's Momokogo and Saida just don't win matches ever.
It's sad. The next match then is Tam Nakano versus Yuna Mizumori, and yeah, that's presumably a Tam win. I wonder if they're just gonna announce Yuna as a roster member, because like she literally doesn't wrestle anywhere but Stardom.
Yeah, she doesn't. Like, when is the last time she wrestled somewhere else? Just go on.
I mean, I assume Tam will win that. I hope it's not Yuna Mizumori coming and doing bits, because I feel like Tam versus Yuna could be very good. But it is a house show, so she probably will do bits, because that's how they roll.
Yeah, she wrestled YMZ New Year's Day, and that's the last match that wasn't Stardom.
They just need to get around to announcing her, because this is ridiculous.
Oh, and she wrestles Colors, but Colors does one show every 7 years. So
yeah, that's Unimon. The next match on the show is Shuri Mirai and Ami Sourei versus Natsupoi, Mina Shirakawa, and Mariah May. That might be a draw. That is the distinct flavor of a draw.
Not so I can
No, she
just
can't.
lose.
Not here. She can
Yes,
only
she
lose to
can.
Himeka.
Have you
She
met
can
Sareee?
only lose to Himeka, who's retiring.
Have you met Sherry though?
I
That's the
have.
crazy thing. I don't know if you know
Right,
about
but
Sherry.
God's Eye love time limit draws. Yeah.
That's true.
So
And there's the other matches aren't going to be time limit draws. Yeah, this one could be a time limit draw, but I think Sherry over Natsupoi or Mariah over Natsupoi would
of
be really
course,
funny
I mean that's valid.
because that's where we're at. That's
Yeah.
where we're at nowadays.
Then we have a 6-woman tag. It's Sayaka Matani, Azumi, and Miyu Masaki versus Mayu Utani, Hazuki, and Hanan. That's a Stars win. And then
Yes, I'm just assuming.
yeah.
I'm so
um, Then we have a Himeka Retirement Road 8-woman tag match. It's Julia, Maika, Himeka, and Mai Sakurai versus Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, Saki Kashima, and Ruaka. And yeah, I mean DDM probably closes the show with a win. We're in
yeah.
pain. I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this show is next Tuesday, so there's 0% chance any of it is up by the time we record, because I do not want to watch any of that. I don't really want to see much of what's coming in the next week. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like these house shows are very house showy, and doesn't seem fun. But you know what? We ball. We will survive. Was Konami not meant to be on 2 shows? Is she only on 1 now? Because I thought she was on 2. But oh wait, it's probably this Osaka show that we skipped over, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's wild. She was like, "I'm not coming to work on Wednesday, but I will do it on Thursday." Like, that's chill. Like she'll go to Osaka, but not
She's so
Takamatsu.
specific.
Like she will work Yamaguchi, but not Takamatsu. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's everything we have talked about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different shows today, as well as the bombshell news that Sareee left the WWE. And we didn't even get to touch on the huge departure of Nikki and Brie Garcia, the future Goddess of Stardom champions. So
They're the ones dethroning 7
I
Up,
mean,
actually.
I'd be here for it. Like, listen,
That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. Nanai taking a little bit of liberties on Brianna Garcia would be crazy.
I feel like Brianna, like,
and they're not going to AEW.
well, I don't know about that now. Sareee needs some pals.
No, that they announced it that
is
they're not going to
tragic. I
AEW.
thought Sareee was gonna get some new pals. That would have been so funny.
That would have been so bad.
So who cares?
Like even if Nikki and Brie were like good now, well, not even good now. I know people have decided that they used to be good. I don't know about all that. But I know a lot of people have decided that they used to be really good. But if they came in and they stole fucking Tony Storm and Ruby Soho's spot,
They wouldn't steal them. They
and were like ass.
the outsiders would
crazy.
go to 5. They would be the most dominant force. It would be so great. It'd be so fun. Imagine that. Blood and guts. Sareee, Nikki, Brie, Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho against the OGs. Does that not get your body ready to launch off a wall?
Who even are the OGs nowadays?
They don't really.
Reba?
No, she's not a thing anymore, apparently.
Leva Bates?
Well, it's probably Riho, Britt, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and like I don't know, maybe they got Nyla or something to join.
I think Nyla would be fun. Like it would be really like an interesting dynamic. Do Nexus style. Like that was the only good thing about that Nexus thing where John Cena beat them all was that it was like even the bad guys, even like Chris Jericho and Edge, who just like constantly wanted to say, "Hey, fuck you, John Cena," were like, "Fine, I fucking hate these guys too. I guess we'll do this." And it was all, can they coexist? But it was before it was boring.
Yes. Generational warfare will always be funny.
They should do that.
So, or not funny, entertaining.
This is true.
So, everybody should do it.
Yes.
But yeah, that is our show. We will be back next week to talk about some of these house shows. We will also preview the New Blood Premium pay-per-view and the opening round of the Cinderella tournament, which is It's gonna be a long one. There is a lot of matches on that show, and 2 X's to predict. Because I have no idea who the X's are. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't either because Kylan King signed
I
with Impact.
despise TNA with a passion. They stole Kylan King from me. Those bastards. Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, a
Disgraceful.
little bit. It's
In
not.
fairness,
It's not
though,
fun.
they did pair up with Taylor Wilde, which is like absolutely beast because Taylor Wilde rocks. But
I mean, I told you the other day that I was like, I forgot Killer Kelly existed, and then I realized she's been in Impact for like the past 7
yeah,
months. I was like, damn, that's
Impact
wild. Like I haven't seen her wrestle in a long time.
4
But
women that I would unironically build a roster around is insane because like what else does that promotion have going for it? It's so funny. But yeah, that's
they also have Deanna Purrazzo just rotting around. She's
yeah. I
solid.
feel like she was like very much a product of a circumstance when they were like, okay, you are literally the only thing we have, so we're going all in. And without that, she's kind of not as interesting.
She's all right.
She's fine, but it's not as interesting as when she was like the untouchable top of the division, you know.
Yeah,
But
true. Remember when they sent her to Tony Khan Ring of Honor and she just got fucking bitched out like nothing.
I do not. Diana?
Like they had what?
You sure?
What? No, fucking yeah, Deanna
Really?
Purrazzo. She lost to Mercedes Martinez like in
Oh
like
yeah, for the Ring
4
of Honor.
minutes on
Was it for the
Rampage.
Ring of Honor?
Or was it Rampage or was it Ring of Honor
I
show?
think it
I
was
don't
the
remember.
Ring of Honor belt on an AEW show.
Yeah, and she's got beat on Rampage in like 8 minutes or
That's
something
great.
crazy
That's
like
very
that.
funny. Tony Khan is like the funniest man alive. I swear to God, I love him.
Hey, he's in that new JPEG Mafia song.
Really?
He gets a
No way.
shout
That's
out.
amazing.
Yeah. Was it take the money to the bank? I'm Tony Khan. And I was like, hey, that's a good line. I like that. That's a bar.
I like that.
I got money in the bank. I'm Tony Khan.
All right. Anyway,
I'm
it's time
elite.
to close the show. Unless you have any closing remarks.
Yep.
No?
No. Much like the new JPEG Mafia project, we scare the hose weekly. So listen to us every week here, wherever you are listening to your podcasts, and listen to everybody else on the 5-Star Network. Like I said last week, me, Xavier, and Scott are planning to do something next week to commemorate March Madness because everybody loves doing March Madness. Because let's be real, it's the good thing about March.
I have like no idea what March Madness is supposed to be about. Like I know it's
It's
a sports
just
bracket,
brackets.
but-
It's just
okay,
brackets.
All right. See.
Yeah.
So.
Because every year there's a big college basketball tournament with 64 teams, and it's like a big single elimination, and it happens every March, and it's advertised to shit. So now March Madness is just do a bunch of brackets during March, woo, which I like because I like debating things, as you know. So me and Xavier gonna argue and give Scott a headache
That's really
at some
funny.
point next week.
Okay, yeah, that is not the only project you've got coming. You're a busy guy. Because
I
we're
am a
working
very
on
busy
something
guy.
interesting that you won't miss because I will end up uploading it to this feed anyway. But yeah, we're cooking something that for listeners of this show probably isn't all that interesting or useful, but it will be useful to other people. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Although that won't be out for a little while because we haven't even started recording it. Yeah, keep your peepers peeled. But for now, it is time to close the show. Don't laugh.
This dude said peepers. This dude said peepers. This dude said peepers. What's up with him? What a weirdo.
Show's over. Bye.
Peepers.